I've been working with companies for over 10 years, helping them figure out their innovation strategies and grow through developing new products and new services. These are 3 practical innovation tools you can use to get started today. The Insight-led Idea Sprint is a way to very quickly figure out what are the problems and needs you're hearing from the market and come up with some new ideas to solve them in the form of new products and services. There's a lot of zero to low cost sources of insight that we can get to do this. We can talk to frontline workers, we can talk to sales reps and customer support, we can do some social listening and read online reviews, and then talk to industry experts and read trends. And at the end of the day, the most important source of information is your clients, is your customers. Go out and talk to people, and you can do this for a low cost. You'd be surprised how much people are willing to talk about their problems and issues if you really give them the space. Go out and talk to people, but importantly, don't ask them for ideas. You want to ask them about their problems, and then it's your job to come up with the ideas. You can do this whole process in a couple weeks. Get some ideas together and put a pilot to see if something might work. The next tool that I like to talk about is the Zombie Hunt Audit. When you think about zombies, you think about brain-dead things that are walking around slowly, taking up space, and they're a danger to everybody around them. That's what a zombie is. And we want to look at the business and find the zombies and examine them with brutal honesty. And I'm not talking about people. I'm talking about some of the systems, the processes, the projects, and the teamwork that goes into things that are just not helping the organization, right? So let's take a look at our strategy. What are we trying to accomplish? Let's not wait until the end of the year to do our strategic overview. Let's think about now, what are we trying to achieve with the business in the short term, the medium term, and the long term? Then we look outwards. What's the value proposition that we provide to customers? What are we doing for them? What problems are we solving? And what are we doing better than anybody else? Where do we have the competitive advantage? Then, of course, we have to look at how our resources are allocated. Is every dollar and every hour of somebody's time going towards strengthening our value prop, going towards advancing our strategy? Take an honest look at the business and think about ways that you can get rid of some of those zombies or use them in our third tool, the Resource Reallocation Map. As many of us know who have tried to ask for funding for new projects, it's a lot easier to work with money that's already being spent than it is to get permission for new money. So let's dive in and find some ways that we can reallocate some funds. How many people out there are measuring marketing ROI based on last year's performance? We're doing better than last year. Does that mean that we're doing the best that we can be doing? Are there things that we're doing that really aren't worth the spend that we can reallocate to something new? How about legacy software licenses? I'm sure that there are softwares, subscriptions, things we're spending money on that aren't necessary that we can take that money and put into a new cause. Even things like sponsorships and trade events. You know, I'm a big proponent of corporate social responsibility and making partnerships with the community, but not everything is returning the value that we're putting into it. Let's take a look and see what is really worthwhile, and maybe there are some things where we can take a year off of spending on and put that money into a new space where we can then reallocate our budget to do some low-cost experiments of marketing or innovation through new channels, do some customer interviews and maybe some frontline immersions, and let's build some small-scale prototypes and do some pilot programs. With these 3 tools, you can get started today and see some real innovation results.